Let's talk about feedback, and let's talk about accepting feedback and how people can kind of and should communicate with each other. My daughter is obsessed with being a big girl, right? I mean, at this age, that's all she wants to do and talk about. She doesn't want to be a baby anymore. She wants to be a big girl, sleep in a big girl bed, do big girl things.
Is Rosie all strapped in like a little baby?
She's little, so that's why she's sitting.
I was giving my daughter a bath the other day, and she was telling me stories about her day. Her friend, however, is a little older, and you can imagine there was a situation, I guess, where her friend wanted to kind of let her know, my daughter, that she was older than her. So you want me to get a bite off of this, you're saying? Oh, you're doing it. Got it.
This is my breath.
Got it.
No, your breath.
Right. So she tells Addison that she's not a big girl, that she's still tiny. And this is like the worst thing you could tell Addison. This is like, there's not much that's gonna like faze this child, except for this. She wants to be a big girl. She doesn't want to be told she's a little tiny girl, right? I mean, it's silly to us, right? When you hear this and it's like, oh, it's not a big deal. Of course, to her, it's a big deal.
Who wants to go on a ride?
I do. Timmy does for sure.
My initial reaction is just like, ignore it, honey. Like, just blow it off, basically. However, this is her friend. This is someone who she wants to have a relationship with going forward. She doesn't really want to blow this off.
How do we get Addison to not be so much of a tattletale?
Oof, that's a good question. Our daughter is admittedly becoming a little bit of a, kind of a teacher's pet, tattletale-ish. Kinda.
She wants to be the teacher.
She wants to be the teacher. Coming from like a really good place, it seems like, but she's constantly trying to give all the other kids advice, and I can see where this is gonna go really badly for her at some point. It's so cute when she does it sometimes. Like, we were at this little party, and they were trying to like all balance and climb on this this little like, you know, balance beam, and she went around forcing all the kids to hold her hand so that she could help them across the beam. It was very adorable, but it was very much the why are you doing this, leave me alone kind of thing. So if anybody has any advice about this whole kid not turning into a tattletale, let me know. Because like I don't want it to come across to her, it's hard to explain anything to a 2-year-old. I don't want it to come across as like, don't be helpful to other kids. Lynette's got a birthday coming up. Not gonna share the age, but she just got carded. I also don't want to give her, like, I want her to be assertive in life. Like, I am of the belief of this whole, like, you do not want to discourage your daughter from being bossy. Like, that's usually a thing people are like, oh, she's bossy or whatever. Like, I want her to be bossy. Like, that's good. It's like, I don't want to discourage her from trying to be a leader and thinking that you have to, like, suppress this to make people happy, because she kind of doesn't, but she just shouldn't be a tattletale. So the advice that I offer her, honey, you should tell her, your friend, that this hurts your feelings. And it dawned on me, when did we do that? When was the last time you told somebody when they gave you feedback, or they spoke to you with criticism or something, and maybe it wasn't delivered that well, and you told them, hey, that hurt my feelings. Yes, if this is a troll you want no relationship with on the internet, if it's just some random person who's, you know, insulting you on Twitter, forget them, blow them off. But if this is someone who you would like to have a continued relationship with, maybe you should tell them, you hurt my feelings. We got some interesting feedback from somebody, and the feedback was half constructive and half, I would say, a little mean. I believe the title of the post was something like, no one gives a crap about your Slack integration. At High-Rise, we recently launched a Slack integration. And clearly this person is not a fan. But those words, no one gives a crap about your Slack integration, it sounds kind of mean. And to be honest, there was a lot of thought and team consensus and people who built this. I don't think our feelings feel very good when we hear something like this. This isn't to say that we don't want to hear feedback and get a lot of, very candid, constructive criticism. But to be honest, that Slack integration that we launched, one, wasn't a trivial effort. Two, came from a lot of thought about things that we should do. Three, it came from a customer request, someone who's been using High-Rise since the beginning. And Slack is this channel that is this enormous audience. And when we looked at this feature and this integration we wanted to do, we also were aware that there's a lot of CRMs that aren't integrating with Slack. This is a very new kind of territory. So why not try to kind of ride this wave and get some of the kind of marketing bump for ourselves? Plus, this is a thing that we can introduce into the product without making the product more complex. It's merely an integration. It merely takes some of our data and provides it to another tool, or helps you use another tool with our product. There's no fussing around with making our product actually harder to understand, making it more complicated to pick up for a new user, and that ease of use, the simplicity of getting right into our product is our core killer feature, what we're trying to accomplish. So this Slack feature was actually a really good idea, and we put a lot of thought into it as a, and where it was prioritized in the things that we did. The Slack feature also turned out to be one of the most popular things that we've launched and features we've launched in a long time. The post that we wrote that on Medium had tons of traffic, more traffic than a lot of things that we've done previously. You heard our feelings. We welcome the feedback, and there was some great constructive stuff in there, stuff that we cherish because they were votes for things that we definitely think about. But I think this is an interesting way of kind of communicating with somebody, to let them know honestly, hey, we would like to have a relationship with you. I don't want to blow you off, but you have to be careful with how you communicate with us too. There's a team here. We're working really hard. We don't take anything that we do lightly, and we put a lot of thought and effort into making High-Rise the best thing possible. And so, you can talk however you want to, but if you want us to kind of really pay attention and to kind of keep a great relationship with you, we want to have a very positive dialogue with you when you have feedback for us.
1, 2, 3.
Addison takes after Daddy and likes lots of drinks. So she's got 1 drink, 2 drink, 3 drinks. Daddy, just 2 tonight.
It's a lot of drinks for one table.
Yes.
3 people.
Yes.
But don't you think it's kind of weird sometimes that we only usually have like 1 drink or 2 drinks, when like your dish, when you usually eat a meal, it's like 3, an entree and 2 sides. It's just something I feel like I'm inspired by my daughter to take when I see someone who is awesome that I want to spend more time with. But somehow there's something that's kind of, been done or said that just maybe makes some of us not feel so good.
You're big.
Not that big, so you're only that big. Grab resistant.
But you're not tiny anymore, are you?
How tiny did you used to be?
You're getting to be a big girl, I agree.
I hope that was kind of interesting. Maybe it'll make you think about a conversation you have with anyone online, whether it's an acquaintance or a friend or even a customer. And if you dig these videos, please hit that thumbs up. And I upload a new video every single day talking about business and marketing and getting through life. And I hope you are getting a lot out of these. So please subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.